Good morning. I'm down here working on my Vintage Circus Lapbook, and we're going to continue on with that today. So I'm trying to think, what did we do last time? We've done a few things on this side, so we are now starting to work on this side. And oops, trying to get that out of the range here. And I've kind of came up with an idea that I'm going to put a hinge here. I'm going to have some tags with some pockets just to give us some interaction on this side. So we're going to do that today. I'm Venus from Heart's Desire by Venus, and welcome to my channel. So this is a little of a tricky thing that I'm doing, because normally you would just cover this, put your, you'd put your spine in, and it would cover all this here, and I wouldn't worry about it. But, I'll get this in the screen. But because I have decided I'm going to do two smaller spines, we got to cover this up first. And then when we do these sections here, it will cover up over top of this a bit. But I don't want to see this part here. So, I have just cut a piece of paper that will fit right in here. And we're going to install that in here. First, I'm going to take off my tape. Oop, get that in there. And both sides. And before I do the other stuff here, I'm going to just run a bead of glue down this crack here, just to make sure that when I burnish it in there, it's going to connect with some glue. Sometimes the tape will lift in those spots because it's flexing a lot. But I just put a bead of glue in there, and that hopefully will take care of that. I had long fingernails last week, and then when I went to work, I was cutting so much fabric at work, I kept dinging my fingernails on the cutting table, and I've lost them all, so I can't even pick off tape with my fingernails now, which is annoying. All right, so I'm going to center that in there, but I'm going to do one side at a time, because we want to get in there. You can see I'm just creasing it ever so gently to get it in there so that it will flex, and we're just going to slowly ease it over. Same thing on the other side here. Just flexing it a bit and then get it all down there, just so it will move. And just work it in a little bit. Perfect. So then, like I said, I'm going to put two smaller hinges on here. I think that'll be good there. So let's move that out of the way. And I've got videos, if you go back, on how to make hinges for your journals, lapbooks. This is nothing new. We've all done this a few times now, so I didn't bother doing that on screen. But I'm going to make, and I just decided to make two of these the same size as the tags that I wanted to have in here. So that's why I cut it down. I didn't want to have a big gap with nothing in between. So we're going to glue this in as well. And got it centered to the top one. Center it in there. And again, we're going to want to crease the side because we want to get it worked in. There we go. Smooth it all over. And get it in this side, and do the same thing on this side before we secure the other side. There we go. And now we can get this in here. Just work them in a little bit. Perfect. I think that's straight. It is straight, it's just I'm on the camera kind of crooked. Let's try that. That's better. All right, and we're going to do the same thing on the bottom side here, so then we will have two separate hinge systems. this in here. You don't realize how much you miss fingernails till you don't have any. There. So hopefully you're enjoying this series. We're kind of plugging along here. It's a bigger project than I was kind of anticipating when I started it, but it's going along nicely. And hopefully you've gotten a few ideas of how to either do this yourself or, you know, make your own lap book, but giving you some ideas. Okay, so I'm going to line it up top to bottom, but also line it up with the other one. And don't forget to burnish that again. Get it in here. And burnish on this side too. Excellent. All right, that went relatively easily. All right, so then get my little bits and bobs here. So I made 4 tags, and I'm just going to put them on these hinges. So what did I do that right? Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to just, basically I'm going to put them on like this because I'm going to mat over it. So I don't need to mat 2 back to back. I think that'll be fine. So I'm going to put a bead of tape on here. And let's see if this is gonna, perfect. And we're just going to put it on just like that. We're going to do that to all 4 of these. So these I just cut the tag size I wanted out of a manila file folder. That's all, because I am going to mat them, so I felt I didn't need to do anything stronger. And this one I'm going to just do it this way. Just make sure I'm secure in there. Oop. Book is so long it's kind of getting caught on my workspace. Okay, so there's that one. We'll do, oops, hit the camera now too. We'll do it on this side as well. Where did my tape pen go? So I did ink these up before I put them on here because I don't want to try and mess around with that while I'm doing this. Well, it's all in here. It'd be a little difficult, I would think. Okay, and we're just going to tape up the last one here. And slide this in here. All right, perfect. Now I'm just going to mat them. So I've just, and this is what I thought, if I mat them like this, it covers that joint there. And I'm just going to mat these, both sides on here, and I pre-taped so that it was all good. Now you could just leave it at that, but I'm going to put pockets on, I think, just for some extra interaction. But you could see how you could easily have done this too with more tags on here. I'm actually going to just put a little bit of glue on these two. If you made a larger spine there, you could put like 2 rows of these, or 3 rows of these instead of just the 2 like I've done. Okay, I'm just going to burnish this in. And again, all these papers that I'm using, they're from the kits that are listed below. I did find them all on Etsy, and I do have their names and the links to their shops there in case you are interested. They don't pay me for this. This is just out of my stash. You know, like most of you, I collect some of the digitals for projects that are in my mind that I'm going to do in the future, and this is where these came from. And then when I found that Cirque du Soleil book, I thought it was just meant to be. Okay, burnish these ones in. And get the bottom ones here. So you could put you know, little holes on these and have your strings on these if you wanted as well. I'm choosing not to because I don't want to get them kind of stuck in the mechanisms, because as this folds up into the lap book that we are creating, I don't want those strings getting tangled. But you could definitely do that if you wanted to. For me, I'm just planning on packing a bit more in here, so I don't want to risk dangly strings. So now we're going to do on this side. These all on here. And you could do these all different sizes. You could actually, you know, do the first one smaller and then the next one a little bigger and do it all the way through like that. Possibilities are endless as to how you could do this. All right. This one on here. Mat this one in. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a simple pocket on these so I can slide whatever I want in there. So I'm going to do that before I go any further. And again, I'm going to put just a tad bit of glue over the tape, just to ensure these pockets, because I don't want them coming off. I'm just going to mat that there. Perfect. And I'm going to do this one here. This is just making sure I've got the maximum amount of storage space in this lap book for any of the ephemera bits that I'm going to put in, because these kits all came with a ton of ephemera. So I definitely want to make sure I use as much of that in this lap book as possible. There. So now I'm going to do the top side here. Ooh, that one goes like that, because there is writing. I don't want it to be upside down. Get this all on. Don't forget, if you are creating with me or you're using some of these ideas, please pop on over to my Facebook group and post what you're doing. There's a few ladies that have been posting on there, and it's always nice to see how everybody else's creative brains are working. Yes, I said that one is going like this. That in there. I'm trying not to get my head in the screen because I did not brush my hair this morning before I came down here. All right, so we're going to get this one on this side, I think. Yep. Get it in there. Peel this all off. I need a glue station closer to my thing, I think, where I can just leave my bottle upside down there and maneuver it faster. All right, get this one on. What do we think? That one there, that one looks good. I'm actually getting excited. We're getting close to the end of this book. And then it will be making the ephemera for inside and finishing the journals. But it's kind of nice when you're you're finally seeing it all take shape and getting near the end. There's one. How many of these did I make? I made, oh, okay, we're gonna do the other sides now. Ooh, that's a little stiff. Work that in. You can see I had a misprint on the back side of this one, so I just redid it again. I just got my new eco tank here in the last little bit, so I've still been figuring out parts on this one. It's working way better than my old one. My old one used to have, it wasn't an eco tank, it was something else, and it used to run out of ink, you know, without any warning, because you couldn't see it like the eco tank. I love that. So you'd be printing along, it'd be perfect, and then all of a sudden you'd have like 3 pages come up that weren't doing what they were supposed to do. So I saved that paper because I didn't want to waste it. But the eco tank is so much easier. I love I can see that it's all ready to go, and I get a lot of printing out of it compared to my other one, which was nice. But I know there's a lot of you out there who are using the eco tank. I think I was just late. I was trying to be, you know, use that one I had and just make do, but I finally got to the point where it was frustrating me too much. All right, we'll do the last side. Excellent. Oh, get this one off. All right, more glue. All right, and get this one on here. All right, now I have a few extra pockets here, so we'll put those on. I think, what do you think? That one looks, no, let's do this one. Yep, I like that one there. Get these pockets on. Oh, put some glue in the wrong spot there. We don't want that. All right, and I'll put, yeah, we'll put this one there. Alrighty. Okay, so we've got pocket, pocket, so I can put another pocket here, which is working. And I'm just making these flat pockets. They don't have any gussets on them because I don't want too much bulk on the flaps. So this way I can put like 1 or 2 flatter items in there so that are not in the way. And I'll save the more detailed layered items for in spots that we'll be able to use that, you know. There, last one's gonna go in here. Put the glue on. All right, let's get this one on here. Okay, so now when you open this lap book up on this side, you will have pockets here that you can slide in. One here, 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 and here. And then when we cover this up, you won't see, you'll see just a little bit of the hinge system, just like normal when you are creating a book like this. So that worked out really good. And then I will figure out what we're going to do on here, because this is a big space, and I might be using a picture out of that book again. I'm just trying to find the book here. We have, yeah, something like that might work in there nicely. I still want to use these ones. I might just use those because I'm going to just lay something flat here, because I'm going to have the journals in on this side laying flat, so I don't need a whole lot on this one. So I might just do this. Let's see here. How am I time-wise? Not too bad. And I have to measure. Of course, my son has taken my ruler, but I'm pretty sure that picture will fit in there. Let's just see here. Grab my quilting one and just see. Oh, absolutely, it'll fit in there. So then let's cut this out, and I got time. Let's mat it in there. So I'm just going to cut this page out of this book. Run it down the spine here. Yeah, because there's nothing much on the other side. Perfect. And the contortionist ladies would fit perfectly there. All right, so I'm going to put you on hold, and I'm going to go get my ruler so we can cut this up and make sure this is all fitting. I'll be right back. All right, well, I couldn't find my ruler, but good thing I'm in my craft room. I'll just use my quilting rulers. So let's just measure how big this needs to be. So it is 4.5. Let's get my pencil and make sure I write this down. 4.5, 4.5. Am I doing that right? No, it's not 4.5. What the heck? I'm reading my ruler upside down. It is 8.5. I know some of you are probably going, that's not what it says. 8.5. So then, because it's 8.5, I'm actually going to cut it 8.25 wide. And let's see, what is it measuring at the top? It's measuring exactly 9. So I'm going to do 8.75 down so that I can have just a little bit of edge on there. So let's move this out of the way. All right. Get my cutter here. Now, because I need it 8.75 high, I think I'm going to cut the height first so I can position these ladies in here, because I don't want to waste any of that photo. So 8.75 puts me here, which still lets me have most of that. I think I'm happy with that. And I'm just going to trim the edges, and then we'll figure out where I'm centering this to get to me 8.25 wide without cutting much. So if I'm doing 8.25, where's that putting me? It's cutting her foot a little bit. So let's just take 1/4 inch off this side. That still leaves her foot in there. And 8.25 puts me perfect right there. Excellent. So we've managed to preserve most of that photo. I'm just going to run my distressing ink right across the edge to get rid of that white core on the paper here. I want that showing. Alright. Perfect. All right, let's tape this up and get this page in there. As usual, I'm going to tape and glue. I want it to be sturdy. But the tape definitely lets me play around in case. All right, let's just burnish that on, peel this off. Oops, tore that tape there. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Yes, I'm sticking to my paper. All right, I'm gonna get that glue on, and then we will get it out to the lap book and position it. All right, I'm gonna set this aside, and hopefully I don't stick to it. Perfect. And let's get out our book. And this is where it's gonna go, right in here. So let's just position this right to left, up and down. I think I am good. Finish that in there nice. Excellent. That looks perfect on the back side there. All right. Well, I think that's it for today, because I'm not sure what I want to do on the front flap here, but this is turning out well. So then when we fold it all up, this is your top view here. So we just finished this section here. Actually, this will have to go like that. So you can see we are definitely making some progress here. It's starting to look good and full in there. And I will be back soon, and we will do the other part, and then we might start decorating the covers here soon. So if you've enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe so you know what I'm doing when I'm doing it. And hopefully I will see you again soon. Have a great day.